Well, that's even with social media. Like, I like posting, and I've been getting into it more of posting the fitness stuff just because that's what we've been talking about. So we have more content about that. But I struggle with the just posting like little clips that aren't giving any education. I think for some stuff, it's okay to just throw it out there and it's a cool little clip and whatever, and people are going to like it. But with something like that, where I care so much about it, it's hard for me to, like, even doing an exercise video, like I'm explaining an exercise or just showing an exercise. I don't like speeding it up or slowing it down to make it look good. Cause I'm like, but the education is in how I'm doing it and the tempo of how I'm doing it. And you can see where I'm controlling it and where I'm releasing. Like, I want it to be and not to sound like douchey about it, but the integrity for me is so high with that. That's like, I don't care if it's going to look less appealing and less cool. The few less people, but the few people that will watch it, they will at least get something from it versus just seeing me do something.
Yeah. Well, and that's where I wouldn't ever bend that just because it's the popular thing to do, or that's what people are wanting. That's why it took me so long to do the shorts and to do even the clips now. Cause I'm like, no, I want people to watch the whole podcast. There's so much context and there's so much us talking about things and explaining things. Like, I want that to be put across, but I'm just seeing the shorts and the clips now as promotion to try to go to the podcast.
And that's what I'm seeing with the social media stuff too, is if this clip of me working out and I'm doing it in a more aesthetically pleasing way and not an educational way, if that's what gets more people to see the educational stuff, okay.
And I think that's a fine line to deal with.
It is.
Because
yes. That can't be all you're posting.
Yeah. And I think, like you said, the integrity part of it, or just like, you don't want to be misleading people of, well, they put this short out and they were doing this workout or this thing, and that's like not actually what we believe in or do, or yes. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with any weird random example.
Well, it's like when I was at one of the marketing trips and Eric wanted to film me working out, and he's like, "Well, do this, this, and this, because it would look cool in the video." It would look cool in the video, but I'm like, but if I'm gonna post this, I'm not gonna use those parts. Because
I don't ever do those exercises.
I would never do this. I would never suggest this. I wouldn't program it in this way of doing those things with this. That, yeah, the video would look cool, but I'm going to sacrifice my integrity with this topic.
Yeah.
By showing something that I would never do just because it looks cool.
That's where unless it's going to...
Which is why it's so hard to, and why I want to do the one project with you, but it's hard to do content sometimes with the fitness stuff, because it's like, I want to film even some of the stuff that we're doing right now, but it will be on the more boring side, because like, you're only going to see me do the moves that you all know. Like, yeah. It's not going to be this weird standing on one foot and holding, like, it is going to be just a regular shoulder press, a regular chest press, a regular squat.
Yeah.
It's not going to be something that you look at and go, what the heck exercise is that? You're going to know what it is.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's where, like you said earlier, it's few people may watch it, but those few people are hopefully going to get something out of it, because you're not bending the integrity to do, the ropes that looks really cool on video and, burpees or something, whatever, stuff that you never do, but just looks good. It's like, you may not get the viewership, but to me, that's the whole name of this game, is like, if you want a longevity in it and a channel in it, and coming from somebody that hasn't had any of that, but it's just what it seems to be. And I think it's important to do what you think is right and what you should be doing, even if you haven't gotten to the levels yet. But it's like, I don't want this to get a lot of views if we're not having integrity with it. Like, that would be, it's like, how many child actors or how many stories do you have to hear of people that are not ready for stuff, or they're not themselves, and how depressed and damaged they are because they put on this facade, or they lied about who they were the whole time, and then it comes out, it's like that person wasn't happy the whole time because they were lying. It's like, yeah, I don't want to do that. It's like the Ellen thing. She's telling everybody to be nice or whatever, and then it turns out she's actually an asshole. It's like, well, no, I'd rather just be the asshole and people
Sure.
follow me or like me for that. It's like, I don't want the whole backside reveal of, well, did you know that they're actually terrible people? It's like, no, I'm going to tell you what I think and believe about this stuff, and then I'm going to try to show you how that works and what to do and all that kind of, like, I don't know. It's the Midwest. It's like, there's just, it's just integrity and not wanting to mislead anybody. Like, I just don't want to do that. And if that means that we stay at 95 subscribers for the rest of time, it's like, then those 95 people hopefully are getting a whole bunch of cool shit out of it.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't make any money off this right now, and we probably won't for a long time. So it's like, we're doing this for free because we feel like, I don't know, maybe we're just bored and we want something to do, and something to feel important about. But it's like, we're doing that and we're doing it now. So what's the difference if we do it 5 years from now and it's the same thing? Like,
I mean, besides the selfish reasons that I have with this of, I want to get better at communicating. I want to get better at like continuing my education with things and having a reason for that. Not just, well, just learn this stuff to learn it. It's like, I want to be able to deliver the information because that holds me accountable. But the reason we started it forever ago now was we hear so much random information about stuff that the only way to combat that is to push out more of the correct information. It was more say like with fitness and that kind of stuff. That's how it started. That now, if I'm going to post something that gives the wrong context and it just to get more views, I know it's going to get more views. I know on my Instagram, I know I could post all of my Thrive videos for the baby program. It's like, that is information dense. Is it going to get less attraction right away as me posting a swimsuit picture on the beach? Like, I know what that's going to do. I know that people are going to like it. I know that people are going to, you can see that they're going to save it. They're going to share it, whatever. It's like, this gets nothing. But that's what my thing has been for so long, that it's going to take a long time for this thing to start to become the main thing. That now if I go and post what's going to look good in a workout video, but doesn't give any education, now I'm just a part of that thing that I'm trying to combat over here. I'm putting out the bad information. But yeah, is it going to slow down who's looking at it and who's liking it? And like, the reason for posting it is to give information. I'm not going to reach as many people as a swimsuit picture. I know that, but slowly, hopefully that starts to shift and more people are coming to us or coming to those things for the education. That I'd rather have the longevity in that, even if it's not as cool right away.
Yeah. Well,
because I was like, we're doing the exact thing. We're doing the thing that we were trying to combat in the first place.
Yeah, totally. And I think you have to, like, we try to play the game a little bit, but staying within the integrity, what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, I do the shorts now, and I didn't want to do them because it's like, I want people to listen to the long form thing, but I try to do that for promotion. And then it's like, okay, well, I'm doing the shorts. Let's try to pick things that are catchy and a little bit more interesting or grab people. But it's not like it's not like I'm using stuff or do it because, I mean, for one, like the whole podcast, there's not going to be things that we're like super controversial about and being crazy about. But even within the shorts, I'm not grabbing stuff and like piecing something together that makes us say something that we're not actually saying, and just to get views and all that kind of, like, I'm not playing that game. But sure, I'm gonna edit it in a little bit of a way that's like cutting the fat out and making it more like the nicotine one with you. It's like, there's
so funny to me.
So much space in between all of that, but it's funnier it just like quick cutting to you going like, I don't taste anything. It's spicy. I don't taste anything. It's spicy. Like that's funnier, and people are going to think that's funny or want to watch that over me posting the whole thing where it's like, you're just kind of sitting there not really doing anything. But the time in between you saying, I don't taste anything, to this is spicy was like a minute, you know, or a minute and a half. It's like, it wasn't that quick, but it's like, you know, you got to play the game a little bit.
Sure.
You know, just like the thumbnails, you got to play the game a little bit. You got to put things up that people are going to click on. But the idea is what you actually made the thumbnail be, or the title of it be, is what you're talking about. And it's like, I've made mistakes with that a couple times where it's kind of what we talk about it in 10 minutes in or 15 minutes in, and it's for 2 seconds. And it's like, people don't like that it's, oh, I thought this whole thing was going to be about, and it turns out you just said 2 things about it.
Right.
And then moved on. You know, it's like if we put in this one, like something about Rogan or whatever. It's like, well, you talked about it for 10 seconds and it's at the very end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Like that, people are like, well, they don't even talk about what they title it, so I don't want to pay attention to that.
Sure.
So it's like, okay, I had to learn that and now adjust that and make sure the titles and all that is talking about what we're actually talking about, and hopefully more so at the beginning so it meets the expectation type of thing. But like, I'm not going to come to you with ideas of what to talk about and be like, so this is what's really popular in the news right now, or whatever he's talking about. Let's talk about this stuff. It's like, we don't care about any of that. And honestly, we probably think it's stupid. And we would probably go into like, everybody stop listening to this stuff. It's all dumb. It's all stupid. It's just making people too emotional, whatever. Like, do this instead. But
I make that intentional with my personal social media, at least. Like, you're never gonna see a post about like a current thing that's happened. Like, I didn't post about the hurricane. I didn't post about like, I'm not gonna post about things that could have an opinion about. I don't want it to be like, and not that I think that's bad if people do that. I don't want to have to, for my integrity, just me personally, I want to be educated about something if it's like that, where it might be a this side or this side, and I don't want to have to take the time to educate myself. So I just don't want to be one of those people that's going to post about it, because then you have to post about it for everything. Or like, I would rather just make it seem like I don't know what's going on at all times.